Lots of people want to invest their money to get the best returns possible to secure their financial future. But within a financial plan, it's essential that all your assets are aligned to support your lifestyle, both current and future. In this video, I'm outlining 2 of the key considerations for your assets that we always include in every financial plan we create for our clients. And they are how much to keep in cash and then what to do with what's left. Right, let's get into it. The army have a saying, no battle plan survives first engagement with the enemy. And this is true of financial plans too. So financial plans need to be able to cope with some less than favourable scenarios. Now, the first thing to consider is an emergency fund. The conventional wisdom suggests holding enough on deposit equal to between 3 and 6 months expenditure, which can be drawn on at short notice if disaster strikes. However, in my experience, a more reasonable amount should be what feels comfortable to you. Some people are accustomed to having large amounts of cash to hand. Whilst mathematically this might be considered less than optimal because cash will lose value to inflation over time, emotionally it might be reassuring. This peace of mind should always be considered when working out how much to retain in cash. For those still in work, I would typically suggest a minimum of at least 6 months net salary to ensure you can continue to fund your current lifestyle for at least 6 months should you be unable to work or lose your job. This will give you a comfortable period of time to recover or find a new role. Now, after ring fencing your emergency fund, you should also consider what planned expenditure above normal income you may require in the next 3 to 5 years. This might be the cost of that dream holiday, a home extension, or support for a loved one to buy a property. This money should be kept safe too. Perhaps fixed term deposits might provide a better return if you can commit to tie it up for a longer period of time. These holdings can be used for funding expenses that exceed normal income. Once cash holdings to cover emergencies and planned expenditure in the next 3 to 5 years are in place, it follows that everything else should be invested to beat inflation. The emergency cash and cash to cover what you plan to spend will inevitably lose value to inflation over time, and that's okay because its job is to give you the peace of mind that you can maintain your standard of living and meet your planned spending if the markets go down. So once you've got your emergency cash and planned spending ring fenced but losing value to inflation each year, it follows that everything else should be invested to try and beat inflation over the long run. Longer term funds can be invested to achieve a higher return depending on your personal risk tolerance, to provide wealth for retirement income or funding bucket list expenditure in the future. There may be other specific objectives such as children's weddings, a dream holiday retirement, or university funding for the grandchildren that need a more detailed planning approach to be considered. Now, these are just some of the factors that may need to be considered. The cost in today's terms, the anticipated inflation rate that may apply. Some things typically rise faster than CPI or RPI. A good example here is school fees and long-term care costs. When is the money required? Can you wait longer if you don't have enough? Could you take more investment risk to get there sooner if markets work with you? Or are you comfortable waiting longer if the markets move against you? And once you know the target value and the assumed rate of return on your investments, you can then calculate how much you need to save. If you have a specific budget, you can calculate the returns required and therefore the level of investment risk you need to take. Now, how confident are you about your future financial planning status when it comes to retirement? If you haven't completed it already, our financial planning scorecard will give you some invaluable insight on the progress you've made so far. You can measure it in less than 2 minutes. Scan the QR code here or click on the scorecard in the link in the description. It's completely free and you don't even need to share any of your personal details to get your score. But if you want to, there's the option of sharing your score directly with me in case you want to find out how I might be able to help you supercharge the planning for your financial future. Let me know in the comments if the scorecard helped and what changes it has inspired you to implement. Now, we're looking to grow this channel so more people like you can find our content on YouTube. So it'd be great if you could hit the like button, subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.